Hello everyone, and welcome to the first part of the review for the DM009 quadcopter. In this part we are going to take a good look at what's inside this box, how the quad looks and feels, and what functions does it have. So to start, first let's take a quick look over the box. So we see it comes with a hover function that it uses two-cell LiPo battery, as it has 7.4 volts. Also you get some information about the transmitter, but if you pause the video you will see that the English here it's funny at least. This is also called HC version. H is for altitude hold and C is for camera, as this quadcopter comes with a Full HD camera that it's supposed to record up to 1080p, so we'll check that out. Besides from that, it has usual stuff: 6-axis gyro, headless mode, lights, and this one does not have wireless connectivity. That's another model. So enough with the box, let's see what we get inside. There it goes, nothing left into the main box, but there are some things underneath. Oh, we get the manual, and it uses terrible English. For instance, try to read this and see if you can understand it. I thought that it's funny. Alright, so we get some informations and also spare parts. We should be able to manage to fly it without further instructions. And what we get in the box: so this is the camera, 1080p. It comes with a wedge type installment. It uses 3 wires. Okay, let's see what else we get. So there are 4 propellers, spare propellers included, and in the main box it's the quadcopter, the transmitter. In the accessory bag we get a card reader, landing gear, of course propeller guards, and if you take a close look, the propeller guards come with a screw already fitted, included, so they are very easy to install, to get installed with the provided screwdriver. And the landing gear, it's only seems to be only pop on. It doesn't have any kind of screws included or holes for the screws. It just might be a push in type. Yes, it will just connect in here. Moving on to the quad, it has a nice finish. It uses that kind of rubber painting. I don't know how resistant is this kind of paint, but at first look seems nice to the touch. It has very good grip. It seems like it's made from rubber. The plastic, it's stiff. Arms seems very solid. It got caps over the motors, and there's some oil coming out from them, so they were pre-oiled at the factory. And on its belly we get 2 connectors. One looks like it already has a plug here, and the other connector is free. This is for the camera, this is unknown. It also has a switch, probably a power switch. Let's take a look inside. As probably the battery is, yes, it's already inside. Oh, the battery is 600 milliamps, 2-cell battery. And what is weird about it, it only uses lossy connector, but there is no balance plug, so there is no way of balancing it, which is not a very good idea for lipos. I don't know, maybe if the charger has a very low charging current it should be okay, and this one outputs 450 milliamps, so it's under 1C, so it may be safe to charge it without balancing, but from my experience, to get the most out of your battery, it's always better to balance charge it. You also get a card reader for the camera, and I haven't looked for an SD card, but there it is. So the camera comes with the card pre-installed, and it's a 8 GB SD card, so very nice of them. So you can just go and record videos, as it's not only included but also pre-installed. Let me see if I can get it back in. There it goes. The transmitter has a lot of fake buttons here, so they are only mimicking design of larger transmitters, but it does have some switches here, additional trim buttons, which usually the ones on this side of the stick, which this is a Mode 2 transmitter, are used for other things like headless or controlling the camera. We'll see about those, and let's see what is powering it up. It uses 4 AA batteries, which I'm also going to install now. Right, so that should be okay. Yes, the transmitter has power. Now moving on to the quad. Let's see if the provided battery has enough power to turn it on. I'm gonna connect it. The connector has a lot of space here, as you can see. You can even use a larger battery probably with it, a longer battery. And the cap just slides in and locks in place. If you want to install the camera goes like this, and the connector will only go in one place, and that's it. What I would like more about this design, if the camera will be able to tilt up, not down, because when the quad is flying it will face downward and he will film the ground instead of what you want to film. So I hope that it's easy to modify this and make it a bit more straight. And to install now the landing gear, it should be very easy. This will get in like this one like this, and now we have landing gear installed. So the quad is installed, seems solid, pretty resistant, and let's power it on. We get a lot of LED lights, so we've got lights in front, lights underneath, so blue in front, red on the back. Camera has a LED, and of course it also has tail lights. Let's pair it up with the transmitter. So the transmitter is powered on, and it's usual, as most quads are now paired with its metal, so throttle up, throttle down, it will pair the transmitter. You also get a small LCD screen here, and let me hold this. I don't want it to fly over here. So it got indicators showing how much you are turning and using the sticks. It got an indicator of signal strength. I don't know how that would work, but it seems to be a nice addition. And that's about it. And this stick also shows us how much movement we are applying. And that's about it with the informations. To quickly arm the motors, you can use a method like on bigger quads, so like this. And you can also disarm them with the same movement. It doesn't seem to be very noisy, and this time not like the previous DM007 model, it doesn't use direct motor drive, but it uses gears, as you can see. So the previous model only had one motor in this pod, and it spun the propeller directly. This one has a smaller motor here, if you can see it, and that spins a nylon gearing like on most other quads there are out there, but this one uses 2-cell battery, and it should have a longer flight time, which should be tested soon. From the manual we can also learn that you can somehow calibrate the height measurement system, but it doesn't tell us if we need to do this at the ground level or at other level. Also there is the motor start procedure here, and gyro calibration. For that you take both sticks down and it should calibrate the gyro. This has to be done on a very level surface, and this will improve your quad stability. This is important to be properly done, especially after you receive your quad or after you crash it, because the gyro is very sensitive and needs to be calibrated before flight. So this should be investigated of what it does and what are its effects, but we'll see that in the flight test, and I'm curious how the height system works. The quad has 3 speeds, and you can change them from this button, and a short press will signal the level, so it gets 1 beep, 2 beeps, and the next one will be 3 beeps. So that means it's in high rates. Also, keeping this button pressed for 3 seconds, not really 3 seconds, but more than 1 second, it will turn off the LED lights and can also turn them on. While this button here, if you short press it, it will enable the flip modes. So you press this, and now it's in acrobatics, and after you execute a flip in one of the directions, it will return back to normal. Keeping this button pressed for more than 1 second, it will transform in a return to key button. So this will try to turn the copter back to you if you lose your orientation. The camera is controlled by this button here. So if you press it, actually push it upward, it will take a picture, and you can see the quad also responds with the lights. They flash and the photo is done. While when you push it downward, the LEDs will flash, meaning that the camera is recording, so you know that you have started the recording. And also the camera signals this with other red LED light. So if I shut down the recording, these LEDs do not flash, and this one is only blue, so you know when you are recording or not. So this was the first part of the review. I'm looking forward of testing it outside to see how it performs, as I hope it's at least as good as the previous model was, and that was very good. And I have a high expectations from this model, even though the manual is terrible written, but that will not be a problem if this thing will fly nice, and if the camera will have good image quality. Until the flight video, bye bye.